Hi, I'm Betsy, the coach's coach and communications specialist, and welcome to Act 13. Last week in my newsletter, I said that Act 13 would be filmed live in Dallas at the Women's Basketball Final Four. Then I got home on Sunday night and I realized that that didn't happen. And I had two options. My first thought was I could use some of the footage from my championship communication presentation in Dallas as the Live from Dallas act, or I could use my mistake as a teaching opportunity for this week's active communication technique. So I decided to go with option number 2. So this week's active communication technique is something I like to call an admission of vulnerability. It's a little bit counterintuitive because as leaders in particular, we feel a certain responsibility to minimize our mistakes or to get things right the first time. But this is actually one of the strongest gestures that you can make as a leader for the benefit of your team or organization. I'll explain why in a second. So an admission of vulnerability looks like this. You're going to start by completely owning publicly whatever mistake you've made. So in my case, I said I would film Act 13 from Dallas, and I didn't. Secondly, you want to follow it up with something positive that you intend to do next. So in my case, I'm going to use my mistake as a teaching tool for this week's active communication technique. Now, what this does is a few things. First, it immediately builds trust because people see that clearly you have nothing to hide. Second of all, it opens up lines of communication and increases transparency within your team. Third, because they've seen you do it as the leader, right away, everybody in your team or organization feels a little bit more accountable to publicly owning their mistakes when they make them. And if you're working towards success, failure is a natural component of that. People are going to screw up. They're going to make mistakes. But you've eliminated that culture of fear, and you're actually encouraging people to come forward and admit their mistakes honestly and early. And that's really the key towards preventing issues from becoming problems and leading to success for your organization. So if you're a leader, if you're anybody, but particularly if you're a leader, the next time you make a mistake, consider using it as an opportunity to make this admission of vulnerability and watch as immediately the trust improves within your team, lines of communication open up, transparency increases, and accountability increases as well. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your time. I'll see you guys next week for Act 14.